Hey guys, Allison here. For those of you who joined me live on Twitch, y'all already went through the full process of me trying to look at trades to maybe hold it over the weekend to start this challenge off. But I am a little hesitant about opening anything today. So we might actually be officially starting the challenge next week. And the reason why is SPX is selling back off in the market, right? Overall, we're sitting here in some consolidation. We've been doing this. And for those of you who are at Simpler Trading, who have been listening to me talk in the training room or in the main options room, y'all know that the level I really need to see us break on SPX is this weekly resistance level of the ATR trailing stop, and it's right around 32.45. We traded it above it last week, but weren't able to hold it into the close. And the same thing is happening this week. Yesterday we traded above it. Today into the open we traded above it, but weren't able to hold it and we've sold back off. So unless we can get a bounce into close to where we're breaking and holding above 32.45, I'm very hesitant about going strongly bullish in this market because this is still acting as resistance and could still be a sign of consolidation to come into next week. So that's what kind of makes me hesitant about putting on a trade in general. Out of all the trades, we went through the scanner. I looked at some run into earnings trades itself. NET is one of the run into earnings trades that I like. On a daily chart, however, we are making a bearish divergent bar. So if we make this into the close, I might wait until early next week before considering putting on a trade. It would be a trade I only hold for a few days. I wouldn't hold it past the 6 through close that day because then earnings announcement happens after the market close. So this is a trade idea where I'm looking for it to see a move higher into the announcement. And so far, we're getting all the signals and indicators to point to that, right? Bollinger Bands are opening up. We're in a stacked up formation. Momentum's building up. We have a bullish signal in the compound breakout tool. Our daily squeeze has started to fire. It's been printing on and off today, so we'll see into the close whether or not it technically is starting to fire or not. But the only thing I don't like about this trade, about an entry here, is if we do make a bearish divergent bar, especially at a price resistance level around $42, which we held back here on July 10th, then we could see a reversal back into support, and this would make a much better entry for a move up into earnings trade, especially if support can hold, versus jumping in here. So I might wait until Monday before putting this on, but I do like the idea it could continue to the upside into the announcement. The other one I liked for today was ICE. Now, ICE on a daily chart already had its earnings announcement. It's still overall more in consolidation, but it's giving a decent weekly signal. On the weekly chart, we are making a bullish divergent bar. We're trying to hold the 10-period simple moving average as support. We have room to move up to the high of this week, which is where we'd be looking to trade above. That's at 96.53. So that gives us a little bit of space to move higher. We also have prior highs that we stalled out at around $98. So that would be a good mini target followed by 100 to the upside to take. Momentum's building up. We have a bullish valid signal on the compound breakout tool. So I like everything about this chart for the most part. But knowing that we're consolidating on the daily chart, it might not be a strong follow through that we see here. So the trade I'm looking at here, if I do decide to jump into it, is the August 21st 95.9750 long debit call vertical spread. ICE only has monthly expirations, but also on a weekly chart, I want to give this time for it to work out. So in a slight coincidence in itself, 3 weeks out in time from this week, right, is actually the August monthly expiration. So even though we have only the monthly expiration available to us in ICE, it works out perfectly with the weekly bullish divergent bar it's trying to print. But I'm keeping it as a narrow spread because if we just only get up to the prior high of this week or get up to 98 and stall there, this spread should be for the majority in the money, if not completely, and that should allow me a quick profit to take. So I'm keeping my capital costs low, of course, because it's the start of the challenge. But in particular on this trade, I'm also keeping a narrow spread because we're not too far away from where we stalled out at prior. So if we do actually end up just kind of consolidating a bit more, I want to be mindful of that in the rising bias trade I look at. And then the last one I liked, which I probably won't open in this account because I want to try and keep the challenge to be around a month long. And this signal is based off a monthly chart, so I'd really be in the trade for about 3 months if I were to take it. But the monthly chart is also attempting to print a bullish divergent bar this week. So I am hesitant that it might not be a strong higher high, that we could consolidate that. I talked about that in quite some detail in the Twitch video. So that video should be up for a few more weeks. If you want to go and check out the long live recording session, please feel free to do so. You can go to Allison Trades at twitch.tv and search for me there, and you should be able to view that full length video rather than the shortened update one. But like I said, I'm a little hesitant about consolidation here, and in general on this trade, I would want to go out to an October monthly expiration. Right now, it's rather inexpensive. The $18 strike is a zero point 0.7 delta or above it. It's only a 225 cost basis, so it's relatively inexpensive because MPW, doesn't cost a lot in general for shares. And I talk about on Twitch, if you wanted to jump into shares here off the monthly, you could consider doing that as well. But yeah, for this challenge, right, because I'm trying to keep the challenge to be around a month long, it doesn't quite make as much sense for me to get into a monthly signal like this where it could take up to 3 months to work out. So I probably won't do this in my challenge account. I might do it in my larger account. But those were the 3 trades that I really liked today overall. So if I do decide to open any of these, I will be posting it in the Twitch chat, what I decide to jump into, if anything. As well as for my simpler trading folk, I will be posting it in the main room and training room, and I'll put in the summary that this is a $500 challenge trade. But otherwise, I might just wait until the weekend happens, get a fresh start next week, and see if SPX is giving us any bit more of clarification on whether or not we're still consolidating, or if we're finally, hopefully, right, trying to break above those resistance levels to continue higher. So that's where I'm at right now today overall. Hopefully, we either see that level break today into the close, right? That would be great. Or at least get a bit better of understanding on, okay, are we trying to break to the upside? Are we still just going to be flat here? Which if so, I rather do trades like iron flies, iron condors, things that are going to be theta positive for my account. Or is the resistance actually going to hold and we're going to experience a bit stronger of a reversal down to support levels? So I'm staying more in cash at this point. We'll see what happens. Like I said, the one that I'm leaning towards opening today out of all the ones I talked about is ICE. So if I do jump into that, I will certainly let you know. And that's off the weekly time frame, of course. But otherwise, if not, we'll take a fresh look at things next week. We won't force any trades, right? We'll wait and see what's available to us. And once we find a good setup, we'll start jumping into some trades and building up that account. So thanks very much for joining me in the second challenge of the $500 challenge. We'll see how we do this time, and I look forward to talking to y'all again soon. As always, may the trade be with you, and until then, I'll see you later.